Italian Americans and Jewish people don't usually come to mind when talking about oppressed people, possibly because they are still considered to be white. However, they still face many stereotypes in film and TV.
Are they talking about me in Italian?
No, they can't speak Italian. They just like to pretend they can.
Tadagio!
Back in World War II, a few decades after film's birth, both Jewish people and Italian Americans were not viewed kindly. In Germany, Jewish people suffered under Adolf Hitler's Holocaust, one of the largest genocides in human history. Across the sea, after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, according to the Routledge History of Italian Americans, West Coast Italian Americans were placed in internment camps with Japanese Americans. These negative views of Jewish people and Italian Americans snuck their way into the entertainment industry, and the two groups were depicted in similar ways. In The Godfather Part 2, Michael Corleone runs an Italian-American crime family. Throughout the film, we see him work and compete with Hyman Roth, who runs a Jewish mob. Both are criminal and controlling. In Ask the Dust, Arturo Bandini, a second-generation Italian-American writer, struggles to find a place in society. He encounters a Jewish burn victim, Vera Rifkin, who also seems to have similar problems. Both are loud and short-tempered. In Do the Right Thing, people in a Brooklyn neighborhood clash with an Italian-American pizzeria owner. Although the film doesn't have a prominent Jewish figure, Jewish people are still mentioned in one of the film's most famous scenes.
Chip, I got good price for you. Near catchy. How I'm doing? Chocolate egg cream drinking, bagel and lots, banana for this Jew asshole.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out!
These stereotypes especially show in comedies. The 1915 silent film The Italian demonstrates this with its main character Beppo, who is demonstrated as incapable of doing common tasks. He goes to America to try to start a family, yet he fails in simple ways such as missing his fiancée at the boat when she arrives in the country. This stereotype of foolishness extended to the 90s with the show Seinfeld. The show featured a character, George Costanza, who the Routledge History of Italian Americans characterized as a complete loser, someone who is constantly lying about his successes or lack thereof. While this description is true, the book also defines him as Italian American. However, George does not seem fully Italian. George Costanza is played by Jewish actor Jason Alexander. His character is based on the show's creator, Larry David, who is also Jewish. Both of George's parents are played by Jewish actors, although George's father is said to be Italian-American in the show. The three Costanzas demonstrate characteristics that could fall under Jewish stereotypes as well as Italian-American stereotypes. They're all hot-headed and loud. Additionally, Mrs. Costanza tries to be overly involved in her son's life, which can be seen as a Jewish or Italian-American stereotype. In a scene in the episode The Calzone, while picking up calzones at a local restaurant, George talks to the man working the store.
My last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen, huh? Paisanos!
The fact that George only brings up his heritage to seem cool to the worker proves that he doesn't really care about his lineage. Whether George is truly Italian-American or not, it's obvious that the writers only use George's heritage as a vehicle to create more jokes. Another show, Family Guy, also makes jokes at the expense of these cultures. These are frequently done through cutaway gags or characters mocking other people. Although Italian Americans and Jewish people are far from being the only people the show makes fun of, these scenes rely on outdated ideas for jokes and depict these cultures in a negative light. Even when a show or film is using it for comedic purposes, stereotypes can be hurtful. Stereotypes are based on generalizations about a group of people, and using one for a throwaway joke is demeaning to a specific culture. The lack of variation with the stereotypes of different groups of people just proves that they're not based on cultural aspects, but they're simply a way of being cruel.